Hey, what's up and welcome to Gadgets 360, and today we'll be unboxing and taking a first look at the brand new Samsung Galaxy F62. So this is a brand new mid-range smartphone with a very special SoC which we'll find out very soon. So let's get started. And before we go ahead, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and also hit that bell icon so you're the first to know whenever we have a new video. Okay, so here we have the retail packaging of the Samsung Galaxy F62. Pretty simple packaging all around, just a big bold Galaxy name here on the side. And we have the image of the phone, and that's pretty much it. So I've already broken the seal, so let's quickly pop this up and see what's inside. So first and foremost, we have, of course, the phone. Let's take this out. There we go. We'll take a closer look at this just a bit. But in the box, we have a USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable. And we have what looks like a fast charger. Yes, it says super fast charging. And this should be the 25-watt fast charger that Samsung bundles. Hidden away in the lid of the box is a little compartment that's easy to miss. Now in here you have some guides and the SIM eject tool, but no case. Here we have a closer look at the F62. Let's peel off this layer. This is the laser blue color, but we'll get into the specifications and details in just a bit. So I'm just going to quickly boot this up, set it up, and then we'll go through some of the main features. All right, so I've gone ahead and done the basic setup for the Galaxy F62, so we can take a look at the interface and of course mainly the design of this phone in this first impressions. So first and foremost, we have this new laser blue color that Samsung is calling it. It's also available in a laser green and a laser gray. I'm not sure if you can see through the camera, but there are these vertical stripes and this gradient finish which starts off with blue and then blends into this silver bottom portion over here. It looks kind of nice, definitely something different that we've seen from Samsung mid-range phones before. So pretty good effort overall, I would say. Now, this is still a polycarbonate back, or as Samsung calls it, a glastic finish. So this is still a polycarbonate frame overall and including the back as well. Now, this is fairly a chunky phone, as you can tell, and it's definitely not the camera adding 10 pounds. It is a pretty thick phone. It measures around 9.5 millimeters in thickness, and this is something that you are going to notice the moment you pick it up. It's also kind of heavy, on the heavier side, I would say, around 218 grams. Although so far it's not feeling too heavy. Again, I've just taken it out of the box and I've not really used it as much. So only time will tell if it's, uncomfortably heavy to use over longer periods of time. But overall, there is a reason again for this thickness and this weight as well, which we'll get to in just a bit. Now, let's look at some of the physical buttons. We have a fingerprint sensor and the volume button on the right hand side. This is also the power button. So you don't get an in-display fingerprint sensor. You'll have to settle for this capacitive side-mounted fingerprint sensor, which should be fine. Over to the left side, we have a slot for the two SIMs, and there's also a dedicated slot for a micro SD card. Down at the bottom, there is a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, a USB Type-C port, and of course the speaker grill. Now coming to the front, we have a pretty large 6.7-inch Super AMOLED Plus display. This is a full HD resolution display, but again the refresh rate sadly is just 60 Hz. Samsung hasn't used a higher refresh rate on this phone, and of course you don't get any in-display fingerprint sensor either. However, the display is flat. There is no curved on the side, so it should be easier to use, especially single-handedly, which is good. We have a hole punch cutout in the front for the 32 megapixel selfie camera, and we'll get to the rear cameras in just a bit. But so far, at least, the brightness and the colors seem pretty punchy, on par with Samsung's other AMOLED offerings in this price range, so no real complaints over there on that front. The main attraction of the Samsung Galaxy F62 is of course the SoC, or the processor powering it, and this is a Exynos 9825 SoC. Now, this is the same flagship chipset that Samsung has used previously in the Galaxy Note 10 and the Note 10 Plus, which launched in late 2019. So even though it might seem a little old, it's still a pretty powerful chipset, and it's nice to see something like this in a mid-range device. Now, in terms of RAM and storage, there are two variants for the F62. There's one with 6 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage, and there's another with 8 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage, and of course you can expand the internal storage. Now, one of the reasons, again, the main reason at least why this phone is so big and chunky is because it has a 7000 mAh battery underneath, again similar to the Galaxy M51. You do get a 25-watt fast charger bundle in the box, so this should be able to charge fairly quickly. In terms of software, you get One UI 3.1, which is based on Android 11, so the experience should be similar to what we recently saw on the Galaxy S21 Ultra, which also came with One UI 3.1. Now, coming to the rear cameras, there are 4 of them, as you can see, and these include a 64 megapixel primary camera, there is a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and then there are 2 5 megapixel sensors. This includes a depth sensor, and then you have a macro camera as well. Now, Samsung has added some of its flagship camera features in this. One of them includes a single take, which basically takes multiple photos from multiple sensors at the same time as the action is unfolding, so you get different variety of and perspective photos by a single click. So that's been it for my quick unboxing and first look at the brand new Samsung Galaxy F62. We will be bringing you the full review of this smartphone very soon, so stay tuned for that. And as always, thanks for watching, and for all things tech, log on to gadgets360.com.